Week 19 of the fantasy basketball season. Here's a few forwards I looked at off the wire this week. The first forward, Kyle Filipowski of the Utah Jazz. Filipowski, he's getting a lot of playing time for this Utah Jazz team. Obviously, with injuries and the team going nowhere this season and pretty much tanking for a pick on the year. 8 points a game, 5.3 boards, 1.9 assists, 52% from the field. But the last couple weeks, when the expanded role, 16.7 points a game, 8.9 boards, 3 assists, 2.4 threes, and 55% from the field. So we're marking it in John Collins, missing a lot of games of late here. Filipowski's getting an opportunity, and even in about 25, 28 minutes per game, he's going out there and putting up numbers. March 3rd versus Detroit, 25 points, 8 boards and assists, 4 threes, 53% from the field. March 5th at the Wizards, 23 points, 13 boards, a block, a 3, 58% from the field. And March 7th at the Raptors, 17 points, 5 boards, 3 assists, 2 steals, 2 threes, 70% from the field. So if you need scoring, rebounding, and three-point shooting and a pretty good field goal percentage of late here, Filipowski's still out there in a decent amount of fantasy leagues at 66%, but he's one of the hotter waiver wire pickups this week. And like I said, this time of year, a lot of young players or unknown guys can help you win a championship where teams are tanking or with injuries. These players come out of nowhere and put up numbers. Next forward, DeAndre Hunter of the Cleveland Cavaliers. So very surprising. Still out there in 58% of leagues is DeAndre Hunter, where he's in the running for Sixth Man of the Year on the year. 18.1 points a game, 4 boards, 1.5 assists, 2.6 threes, and 47% from the field. In the last couple weeks, 15.7 points a game, 5.6 boards, 1.6 assists, 2 threes, and 51% from the field. So I know he got traded to the Cleveland Cavaliers, a better team than the Atlanta Hawks, where sometimes he's going to get less opportunities to shoot the basketball and put up numbers, but he's still playing about 25 minutes per game. Right now it's DeAndre Hunter, and he's going out there and he's putting up good numbers. March 4th at the Bulls, 6 points, 5 boards, a block, 28% from the field. March 5th versus the Heat, 16 points, 5 boards, 2 assists, a block, 50% from the field. And March 7th at the Hornets, 15 points, 6 boards, 4 assists, 2 threes, 66% from the field. So the most part, scoring, rebounding, and three-point shooting, he's a 3 or 4 category type of player, is DeAndre Hunter. He fits well coming off the bench for the best team, obviously, in the Eastern Conference, is his Cleveland Cavalier team. And I think he's going to continue to go out there and put up points. So right now, he's out there in 58% of fantasy leagues, and he can help you in a few categories. We'll go out there and get him this week. The next forward, Najee Marshall of the Dallas Mavericks. So with all this injuries over there in Dallas, the latest Kyrie Irving going down last week as well, Marshall stepped up a little bit and his scoring's gone up. So like I said, with their 2 top guys, Irving and Davis, out for the season, there's no reason for them to bring Davis back, get him healthy 100% and ready for next season. A lot of players are going to step up and get opportunity on the year. 11.7 points a game, 4.5 boards, 2.7 assists, a steal, 49% from the field in the last couple weeks when an expanded role, 13.9 a game, 8 boards, 3.6 assists, 1.6 steals, and 41% from the field. So scoring, rebounding, and stealing the basketball is what Marshall's going to bring fantasy owners. In the last 3 games, that's exactly what he's done. March 3rd versus the Kings, 18 points, 5 boards, 6 assists, 2 steals, 53% from the field. March 5th at the Bucks, 22 points, 11 boards, 2 assists, a steal, 2 threes, 55% from the field. And March 7th versus the Grizzlies, 29 points, 17 boards, 2 assists, 2 steals, a 3, 43% from the field. So like I said, Marshall getting a lot of playing time, that 30 to 40 minute range for this Dallas Maverick team where they're banged up, tons of injuries. And at this point, they're playing for next season. Hopefully they get a high draft pick. They're hoping is Dallas with Marshall, who signed as a free agent in the offseason. So right now, he's doing a lot of things well as Marshall, he's a solid add off the wire this week. Next forward, Aaron Wiggins of the OKC Thunder. So Wiggins, he's been one of the best 6 men off the bench in the second half of the season. And he goes out there, 3-point shooting and scoring is what he's going to bring owners, and a great field goal percentage on the year. 11.8 points a game, 3.8 assists, 1.7 assists, 1.7 threes, and 50% from the field. So to shoot 50% from the field as a swingman, even though I know he only takes 9.2 attempts per game as Aaron Wiggins, that's still very solid and consistent. And when you're coming off the bench for the best team in the Western Conference, it's going to be pretty easy to get the ball in your hands, make plays, especially obviously playing with guys like SGA, who's still going to be in there with the second unit and find you in the corner for open shots. So the last few weeks, 17.8 points a game, 4.3 boards, 1.9 assists, 2.8 threes, 52% from the field. Wiggins surprisingly still out there in tons of leagues at 72%. And if you need scoring, rebounding, three-point shooting, and a good field goal, Wiggins is going to bring that to owners, and he's playing about 25-30 minutes a game. March 3rd versus Houston, 8.7 boards, 2 assists, a steal, 2 threes, 33% from the field. March 5th at Memphis, 16 points, a board, 3 assists, a steal, 3 threes, 66% from the field. And March 7th versus the Trailblazers, 30 points, 5 boards, 3 assists, a steal, a block, 2 threes, 50% from the field. So like I said, Wiggins, he's going out there, he's filling up the stat sheet, especially scoring, three-point shooting, and field goal. And like I said, he's one of the better 6 men in the league as well. So I definitely would go out there and add him this week. Final forward I looked at off the wall is Brandon Clarke of the Memphis Grizzlies. So Brandon Clarke, the last couple seasons, he's obviously been banged up, but this year he's been more consistent in his playing time. He's getting back to 100% where he was over the last few weeks, where I know it took him pretty much the whole season to get back to the levels where Clarke was playing at. But now he's playing well in the stretch run, especially for this Grizzly team going into the playoffs. On the year, 8.3 points a game, 5.2 boards, 1.1 assists, and 61% from the field. But the last couple weeks, 12 points a game, 6.7 boards, 1.7 assists, 1.2 blocks, and 66% from the field. So a lot of putbacks, some mid-range shooting, and shot blocking. Brandon Clarke's going to bring owners, but he's playing about 25 minutes per game as well for this Grizzly team. March 3rd versus Atlanta, 11.7 boards, an assist, a block, 71% from the field. March 5th versus the Thunder, 13 points, 11 boards, 2 assists, a steal, 71% from the field. The March 7th at Dallas, 17 points, 8 boards, 2 assists, 4 blocks, 60% from the field. So obviously with the bad injury to Jaren Jackson, and he's going to be out a while, guys have to step up, and Brandon Clarke has stepped up over the last few weeks here for this Memphis Grizzly team. So right now, well, he's out there in 82% of fantasy leagues, and I think he could be a big help for fantasy owners. And obviously, this Grizzly team going into the stretch run until hopefully Jackson's back before the playoff. He's definitely a nice add this week, so that's a few forwards I looked at off the wire for Week 19 of the fantasy basketball season.